Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors.
Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time.
All right, thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Hey, what's going on? It's Kween Hinnessy.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do. Give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
I do not have a Tinder, but I know what it's used for.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm Kween Hinnessy from Kansas City, residing in Portland right now, and I do music. I guess back in the day, you could say I was like a drill trap artist, but now coming out here, seeing everybody I know does music, so it kind of opened up my artistry. So right now, I'm currently in the neo soul, contemporary R&B.
Okay, hell yeah.
I'm saying I'm not a singer, but
Yeah. No, I do.
All about I do music, basically.
Oh yeah. And what got you started into music initially?
Pain. I guess, okay, so growing up, it was always at least 6 people in the house I was in. And my mama had 4 kids. I was the only girl. I wasn't raised with my other siblings on the other side. But I was quiet, nobody really, I was invisible, you know what I'm saying? One of the people that everybody remembered me, but they'll tell me stories about a situation they forgot I was there. So I started out with poetry.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do poetry and it turned into spoken word until I started writing music. And I initially started writing music from my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess when I was 16, I had went in the studio and recorded the lyrics I had wrote for my brother. I had never did it before, and they dropped it. And I was like, I'm not a rapper. Rap wasn't my thing. I've always been a writer.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a writer. For years, I've been a writer. So music was whenever I wrote, I felt heard. If I was I'm hungry, not everybody will listen. But if we turn on a nice beat, and I changed my voice a different tone, they'd be like, oh, damn, you hungry? And you like carne asada? Okay. Let's get up in there with the extra sauce. You know what I'm saying? So, as crazy as this world is and as crazy as my life was as a kid,
mm-hmm.
whenever I wrote, it was everything around me shut down. And conversations, right now. When I leave, I'm going to go to bed, you'll go to bed, we'll wake up, do what we supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to music, it's that's my world. There's no rights, there's no wrongs. And people that like my music don't even like rap. So it hits different, So you did research, you listen to my old music, and that's crazy.
Well, we'll get into that more in the middle. Let's stick with where you started in music.
But
so I want to just kind of guide it a little bit for a second.
All right.
So that first experience when you were 16 was you in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start transitioning to your own music?
Honestly, I've been rapping since I was 4.
Okay.
But I was too shy to step up past my siblings and my mama.
Mm-hmm.
After I got shot. So back in 2018,
mm-hmm.
February 8th, 2018, I was on my way to work, and I got caught in the crossfire, people shooting at each other, basically.
Damn.
I got shot 3 times in my chest. At the time, I was an organ donor, so like they told me I had like a 2% chance to live or whatever. And my mama lived here, my grandparents lived here, so I was like, all right, if I'm gonna die, let me go up here. I made it past 6 months of surviving getting shot. Correction, I got shot twice.
Mhm.
First, I got February 8th, 2018, I got shot 3 times in my chest, no exit wounds.
Oof.
June 2nd, the same year I got shot in my chest 3 times. Like I said, I was an organ donor, so I really didn't get surgery. To be honest with you, I got shot February 8th at 4:44 p.m. No medicine. I fought until my mama was able to get to Kansas City from Portland, which took about 10, 11 hours. I left after like 13 hours in the hospital.
Damn.
June 2nd was the day, June 2nd, 2018 was the day I figured I'd come to Portland. I had just got signed to a record deal. Like, I had just signed my record deal New Year's Day of 2018. Got shot February 8th. Then shot again June 2nd. The same day I had bought a one-way ticket to Portland. When I came here, I was like, all right, I heard the music out here and it was dope. It was different to me. I didn't know Portland had a sound, so
Yeah.
I always wrote. Like, I've always been a writer. I wasn't really too into the studio. After I got shot, I kind of gave up on music until May 27th, 2019, Memorial Day, where my twin got killed at Rocky Butte. And I made a song about it. They was doing protests in the streets of Portland, so I went, and in the midst of the rally, it was like, I didn't know who anybody was. It was like people from all shapes, sizes, from different occupations, different races that supported my family losing my twin. So like, I made a song, 2 songs. One song called Shots Fired, underneath the name Hennessy the Goon. That's my old stage name. And I had made another song called TT Gully, which was about my sibling who had got killed up here. And I wasn't really too much caring about music at that moment. I just did it because it was like I had something to say. And I don't know, I guess I was freestyling on somebody's back porch one day. He sent the video of me freestyling to a DJ. The DJ hit me up and was like, hey, my name's DJ Verbs. I do a show called The Thesis. Yeah. Shout out DJ Verbs. Appreciate you. But like, a DJ named Verbs hit me up and was like, I do a show called The Thesis. I'm like, all right. I was down. I was like, I wasn't too excited, but I was excited because I'm like, I'm not from here. I didn't know nobody. So I'm like, okay. And I did that show. I had opened up for, who was it? It was Wavy Joseph.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Majestic Sage, and Sour D's.
Damn.
So nobody really knew me, you know. I was on the stage, and then someone told me to hop off the stage. I hopped off the stage, did my show, kind of cried like DMX on the song about my brother. And then it was like, that was a day where, I forgot the lady's name. She decided to go back out to clubs and find new artists, new music, like resurrect something that they did back in the day. And this is at the time where COVID was at a high. So this was like one of the first shows in a long time. So the show was packed. I didn't know that many people had, you know, liked it like that or whatever. So that was my first show. And from there, I had got an interview with Mac Smith. Shout out to Mac Smith and We Out Here magazine, by the way. And he did an interview on me, listened to my music, and people just started listening. And I'm like, okay. So I ended up doing a showcase with, I think, opening for Spice One, which led me to accidentally hosting the event with Stevie Stone. That led to my name change, that led to me opening up for Strange Music, and now here I am.
Damn.
I know. I got my own drink line too in the midst of all of that because like everybody had merch. You go to a show, you'll see people with hats, shirts.
Yeah, you show up with your own beverage. That's going to be remembered.
Yeah, but then like, is it weed in it? No. Like most of my buyers from my drink is kids.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Rich James. He got a drink line called Juiced, and he it's kind of like Rap Snacks. You know, he helps artists get certain things off the ground. So I got my own drink line. It's called Queen's Royalty.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry I would have one for you today, but it'll be ready in like 2 days. I still got you. I got you. I got one for you to keep and one for you to taste.
Appreciate it.
My grandma's recipe is good.
Appreciate it. All right. Now, before we get into more of what you do with music in the present day, I do have a couple foundation questions I got to check in with everybody on. This first one, it's one we ask early. It's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
Missy Elliott, Super Duper Fly.
Okay. Hell yeah. Quality choice right there.
Yeah.
And then what was one of the first live shows you ever went to that was like specifically one you wanted to go to?
Missy Elliott.
Okay.
Recently, like it's crazy because I tell people as a rapper, I've never been to a concert. Never. Me performing at a show doesn't count. So like, shout out to Strange Music, but like that, I'm from Kansas City, so like I can go to Walmart and see Chris Calico any day.
Yep.
But like recently, I went to go see Missy Elliott when she came back in July in Seattle. Amazing. She came out of a spaceship, bro. She came out of a damn spaceship and ran through the crowd. It was amazing.
Hell yeah.
Missy Elliott.
I mean, if you got to go to a show at some point, that's definitely one to go to.
Missy Elliott, yeah.
All right, then let's go ahead and let's get on into you in the present day. And we are going to get a super easy one out of the way. How'd you pick your current name?
It stands for something. It's I don't think people know that. Like they were like, oh yeah, Queen and royalty, and like they think about like Egypt and all that because I got like the Ankh tattoos and no. Kindness, wisdom, ego, education, and nonchalance. Queen.
Oh yeah.
But it also came from, I had a dream about it. It's like, I was going to change my name to Queen B. And when I went to my label, he was like, are you sure that's like a bold move for a female rapper to come out and call herself Queen? I'm like, Queen Latifah did it. And he was like, if that's what you want to do, I'm like, yeah. I said, when I had shows under the moniker Hennessy the Goon, they didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So for a female artist to come out with the name Queen, it's like, okay, what you got? So like, as modest as I am, when you hear my lyrics, it's like, okay, I got a little something for everybody, you know? So that's what it stands for. A lot of people don't know that. I'm glad you asked. You're the first person to ever ask that.
Oh, damn. Well,
thank you.
It was a cool answer. Thank you for sharing it. And I appreciate when people take the time and put effort into like the reason why their name is their name. You know what I mean? There's a lot of power that comes behind it when you get to create a new name for yourself. And, you know, especially if you're going to rebrand it from one you already had, it feels like, and especially having listened to your old music and then getting a chance to check out your new music, it's very representative of the growth that's there too.
And the Hennessy part came from, okay, so like I'm very antisocial, but the most antisocial people become popular for some reason. So when I was a teenager, the nickname Hennessy stuck because my mom was like, you act like you top chef, like it's a privilege for people to know you. Okay, so the name Hennessy was cool. You know, they call that privilege. So like, she suggested I spell it with the I because I'm Hennessy. When I make it one day, she don't want them to sue me. I said, girl, ain't nobody about to listen to my music. Ain't nobody listening to my music. Came to Portland and blew my mind, damn it.
I mean, she had that entrepreneurial mindset from the beginning.
Yeah.
Also, again, clever concept for the name right there. She had you thinking about it before you were even thinking about it.
Privilege, yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, then let's go ahead and let's talk about your writing process a little bit. And we're going to break it up into chunks, but we're going to start right at the beginning. So you get inspired. You're ready to make music. What are some of the things you do to get a track started now?
I go off I'm a writer. So like, I don't know who said it. You can find the quote later. It was somebody said that when a writer goes through the most, they come out with the best. They're best. So it's like, all of my music is based off of real life events.
Mhm.
Any song I have, like I got a song called Reverse Cowgirl. That was based off of a real life event. The song Queen of Hearts, which is real popular out here, that song, it was inspired by that moment. I was chilling with my niece, P9. She's a performer out here. Shout out to Pinoy and Money Muscle. But I was sitting down. She made me watch Lion King. I made her watch the Rugrats. And then we watched Alice in Wonderland. And then we watched some weird new kid movie that kind of irritated me. And I came up with my song, Queen of Hearts. Because I gave a couple of them cartoon characters shout outs in the song. And like, Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite movies, you know, and like the Queen of Hearts was really something wrong with her. Like the moment she met Alice, she said off with her head. If something didn't go her way, off with her head. You know, the book is kind of crazy too. So like, that's my go-to song. A lot of my stuff is inspired. I got a song called Cruel Confessions, which is, the name came from, one of my favorite movies is Cruel Intentions. So Cruel Confessions was like my outplay on a fucked up scenario of life. And it took me 13 years to write that song, but it's like, I had to go through all of that to make that. I don't know. I'm not one of the people that can just like see a pineapple juice bottle and be like, oh yeah, let's make a song called Tropicana. No. Like I gotta deal with it. I gotta go through it. I gotta have some insight on it because I'm a hip hop artist, you know, like real hip hop. I don't do trendy, catchy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the art of storytelling. Like, you know, like Slick Rick. Once upon a time, not long. Like when I rap, you hear it's a whole story. It's not just little metaphors and punchlines, because that's irritating. That's irritating. My pencil be penciling. I'm just saying.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. Once you get a track finished writing, how long does it usually take you to feel comfortable enough to perform it?
I can perform it the next day.
Okay.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm a perfectionist. So the crazy thing about my recording process is different than my music. I have, one of my favorite groups is SWV. And as a real fan of them, I realized all their songs, they have 3 versions. Like back in the day, everybody had different versions of their music. So like SWV, they got a song called Weak. They got the R&B slower version, they have the radio edit, and then they have the hip hop version. They have 3 different versions. Not that the song is called Anything, my bad. But they have 3 different versions. So my writing process is different. Even though I'm a rapper, I write in falsetto as if I'm singing, which is crazy. And my recording process, I always hate my first version. I'll throw it away. Second version, and third one, that's it. It's crazy because like people are like, oh, that was dope, but it's not your song. Yeah. Like I'm one of them people, I don't want to hear one of my songs and like later on down the line, it's like, I could have said this. Yeah. I should have said that. So like I'm a real perfectionist, like, and that's why it's hard for people to do music with me, because it's not hard to work with me, because if you give me a beat and you want the song done in 30 minutes, I got you. I'll come up with something fresh for you and you'll be like, wow, that was dope. But I'm real lyrical and I'm like tedious on certain things. Don't hop on my song saying stupid shit that don't make sense. Yeah. Let's, like, if you want to make something catchy and trendy, go over there and do that. Like, I'll try to make music that means something that everybody likes. Like, yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. There's trendy. I do have a couple of those songs where I'll throw in a couple of words. Like, if I say the word stand on business, that'll get all the TikTokers going crazy. Yep. But if I talk about the story of how I got shot, there's people like you and the older crowd who's like, oh, she has something to say. I'm not, as a female, this is the era for female rappers right now. It's
very much so.
It is. And like, there's other routes that you could take. Number one, as a female artist nowadays, you got to be nasty or show skin. And I ain't doing none of that. I'm hard as fuck. I'm doper than half the people you'll probably ever meet, and I have something to say. I don't need to show no skin. I'm not down like that. I'm not with that. Like, I love Young and May, but she also just takes it differently. I'm different because I don't want to focus on the fact that I'm a lesbian. I get it. LGBT, okay. I get that. I don't want to focus on the fact that I'm black because, okay, let's get over that. I don't want to focus on the fact that I got shot. I'm not the only female I'm not the only person that's been shot. I'm not going to focus on the fact I'm from Kansas City. There's Stevie Stone, there's JLB Hood, there's Tech Nine, Rich the Factor, Bird, Rico Freeman, Rob Lowe, the Star. There's so many people that y'all probably never heard of. I'm not focused on that. My focus is to get people to know that people like me exist and tell them my testimony. Like, there's a lot of people like, yeah, I grew up without a dad. Okay. So let me make this song about how I felt to grow up without a father in my life so I can relate to. Let me talk about how it felt to grow up with a strong black mother. Okay, that's cool. Let's not focus on the black, but if that's what y'all want to hear, let's talk about that. Let's talk about anxiety and depression and grief. You know, it's not always about, like, you can look me up. Even my old name, you can look me up. I don't make let's get turned up songs. I don't promote let's pop bottles. Even though my name is Hennessy, it's spelled different. I don't promote smoking weed. I don't promote sex. I don't. You just have to listen to my story.
Yeah. And, you know, actually, that was something that I appreciated when I was checking out, you know, originally your old music, like you said in the beginning. One thing I did notice is that, I mean, on top of the fact that your beat selection is solid, I got to give credit where it's due. You had good beats even from the beginning that you were picking out. But your sound is very, from the beginning, it's been very dialed. You see everything you say, everything that you present, it feels very put together and intentional. And then when I got the chance to actually check out your newer music before we got started on this, right away, I could tell, like, I'm actually really glad I got to listen to the older stuff now, because hearing the now, experiencing the change and the progress and the progression in the music, it's a really cool experience.
Yeah, it is.
Because you have always been tight, but your current music, what you're doing now,
like night and day.
It's like
night and day.
Like I said, it feels developed. It feels polished. It feels like early music you were putting in the effort, you were going through the motions, you were doing
to be heard. I kind of had like a point to prove, like, I'm a female, hear me roar. And now it's like, look.
But yeah, now your new stuff, like, musically, it's just so good. It like I said, it feels fully grown. There's a real foundation in it, and in true fashion, the beats still slap.
Okay.
They just go, so the whole out. I mean, first of all, 22 tracks is crazy. That is a high output right there.
Okay, so like out of 22, 23 tracks, I want to say like 98% of my album was done by Rich James. Shout out to Rich James.
Yeah, also, I saw you had a
Token. Shout out to Token. I got a beat from him on there, and my label BBJ. But like Rich James helped with like majority of that album, and I recorded it all with Human.
Okay, hell yeah.
Shout out to Human.
And I saw, I mean, you had a handful of features on the album, but I saw you had two in particular that have been on the show. Shout out to Sleepy Samurai and Martial Law. Miyagi Part 2.
Yeah.
That track is hard as hell. Oh my God.
So the funny story of how I met them. Okay. So like my second show in Portland, somebody reached out to me. I didn't know his name. I was like, who the hell is D.D. Willie?
Oh, D. Willie.
I'm like, what the hell is Bars Over Bars PDX? So like,
I got to shout out D. Willie. He's the host for my show.
Shout out to D. Willie, bro. You looked out. Hey.
Yeah.
So like, I got a hit up from him, and on the flyer it said Hennessy the Goon, Nosy, Sleepy Samurai, Martial Law.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody. I heard Nosy, and I was like, who the fuck is this? I'm like, okay. And then like the show was wrapping up, and I seen I called him Prince of Persia, Sleepy Samurai. He had how his hair looked that night. And then Marshall, I think he was like walking out, the show was closing, and I was like, where the fuck you going? And like Marshall, shout out to Martial Law. He was the first person to grab a camera and do like this when I was performing. You know, so I was like, damn. And like I had did a challenge called, y'all like this Miyagi song so well, all right. Miyagi challenge. Nosy, I posted on Facebook, BS you not. Nosy sent me back a verse like, what was like 27 minutes later, I said, bro, what was you thinking? Marshall Law sent me a verse, and when I got him, my mom and my little brother, I'm like, okay, whatever, I've never done a remix, whatever y'all like, throw it on there. They heard Marshall, he was like 2 bars in, they was like, yep, he definitely got to be on there. Mm-hmm. Nosy sent it back so fast, I was like, bro, you got ad-libs and everything, okay, yeah. And then me and Nosy actually have more music than that. It's just not the songs we did from my album that was supposed to be on this album I had released. It wasn't ready because Life Be Lifin'.
Yep.
Life Be Lifin', and Sleepy Samurai, like that's the homie. Shout out to Sleepy.
Yeah.
But like we had did this song called Tysa. Mm-hmm. Take Your Sober Ass Home. And my homie Jay Keith had just got signed to my homie P Noise label, Money Muscle. Mm-hmm. And he was like a fan of me, and I liked his music too. So me and Sleepy did a song called Tysa, and it was recorded for like a year. I went to him and was like, hey, you gonna be mad at me. I rewrote my verse. I took out cuss words. I think that we should make this song more 420 friendly-ish. And somebody else hopped on here. So like the 2 versions that we have is like the 3 versions we have. I got the first version with just me, hated it. The second version with Sleepy, he killed it. And then the third version, he went last, and being that he went last, we went in the studio and he kind of like created the new version while we was there. So like Sleepy is dope. It's hard doing music with people that you cool with that's talented, because you have to figure out where to go from here. Like how do we collide our music together?
No, totally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's rad. And yeah, like I said, your newest album, or your most recent one, it's definitely a super solid experience. But I am curious, out of all the music you have available at the moment, what are some of your favorite tracks to perform?
Queen of Hearts.
Hell yeah.
That'll always be my favorite song to perform because they know the words, and it's crazy as hell. Shout out to Rated Ill. Zaniqua, the lead choreographer, Rated Ill. I performed this song so much that they created a whole dance routine for the song. And like on my birthday, they surprised me doing this dance I had never seen. And like, I seen video of it, and they was like, oh yeah, you got backup dancers. I said, no, I don't know what the fuck they doing behind me. And I'm like, so they basically incorporated all the movements I do into dance moves that made it fit in. And I'm like, oh wow. So shout out to Rated Ill. Queen of Hearts is one of my favorite songs to perform because even if it's the first time you've heard it, you'll be able to rap it back. Like the verses are deep, they lyrical, but the hook is so repetitive.
No, I got you.
Like Alice in Wonderland.
Catch you right away.
Alice in Wonderland. Like I told you, I was watching Alice in Wonderland, and every time she was like, off with the head, they would repeat it. Off with your head, off with your head. I was like, let me try that. And it worked. Everybody likes it. I don't know why, but that is my favorite song to perform by myself.
Yeah.
I do have a song called Queen, which is the original version of this Queen of Hearts song, which features Angel and Janelle. Shout out to Angel and Janelle. It's a song, 2 songs. It's like a tie between the 2. One is called Queen, and the other one is called Broken Mirrors. But those are my favorite songs to perform because it's my first time doing songs with female artists. And it's like we all do 3 different styles of music, but we made 2 songs that didn't have to do with bouncing ass, how much money somebody got, how much jewelry we got on, where we from, beefing with anybody. We just made a song about ourselves. Queen was a uplifting song. Broken Mirrors is a heartbreak song, and it's hard to get 3 females on the song without talking bad about somebody. Like, I'm a lesbian, so to do a song about heartbreak with 2 females talking about 2 different dudes is crazy. Of 2 different races that went through 2 different things. So like, that's a crazy experience, but it hit, and I was like, damn it, I hope this song don't do extra well, because I don't want to keep performing this song where y'all think I'm still heartbroken. Like, let's move on from this, but Queen of Hearts and the song called Queen, because Angel is a singer and decided to get on there rapping. And my homegirl, Janelle from Florida, she's a singer and it's a rap beat. So she has a strong voice like Beyonce. So for her to be able to take her style of music and put it on like a trap beat, it was mind blowing. The crowd loves it though.
Oh, yeah.
They call us the trio. We should do something about that. We should do something about that, Janelle and Angel, shouldn't we? The trio.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
All right, now I want to take a moment and I want to talk about new music you're working on, stuff that isn't out yet. What can you tell us about what you got cooking?
I'm working on 2 albums right now.
Oh, damn.
2. One is called Queen and the other's called Set It Off. What can I say about it? It's not what everybody expects from me. I did keep a little bit of the old me on there, you know, because like I do have fans that like the whole drill sound. I am from Kansas City, so sometimes you got to hop on the track and chop it like Tech 9. But I got a lot of, I dug into my heart and my feelings. I got a lot of R&B samples and stuff. I believe these whole next 2 albums are produced by Rich James. I'm actually about 97% done.
Oh, damn.
I have been working. As far as features, it's supposed to. I'm saying this because I'm a Virgo and I might just drop it solo, but don't hate me for that. But it's produced by Rich James. It should feature Kid Fresh, Lisa Drennan, Sister C, Angel, Janelle, Roulette Delgado, Pinoy, and Smoked Out Studios. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot.
Damn, well, definitely looking forward to that.
Julian Outlaw. Can't forget it. Shout out to Julian Outlaw. Shout out to Julian Outlaw and Rashid Jamal. Hey, that song is gonna be, y'all don't even know.
I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Yes, I am too.
All right, now I want to take a moment and I want to zoom out. I want to look at kind of music as a whole. What are some of the things about either new music, if you're one of those people who takes in the new, or at the very least music that's new to you that you found recently and you're listening to, that you enjoy and you're finding inspiration in at the moment?
New?
And like I said, if you're not somebody who listens to like the newest stuff, just stuff that you found recently.
So moving to Portland was an eye opener for me. You know, so I listened to a lot of in the Midwest. We listen to a lot of down south, Bay Area, and I like East Coast music, like lyrical stuff. So like, I listen to a lot, but I listen to a lot of underground female artists too. Like I support my circle that's around me. Like I love the music people around me make, but I just don't like the mainstream stuff now. Like I don't care if I get on and they look at this video later. I'm just not with what Sexy Red is doing. I'm not with what Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B's doing. I got a whole platform that y'all could be doing way more with. Like, damn it, at the time when Megan Thee Stallion was at her high, she was going to college for criminal justice. At the time where the whole George Floyd movement was going on, why didn't you use your platform for that? But I digress. I don't know. It's a lot of people like at the top of the head, like the internet kind of blew my mind. Alina Baraz, I'm always heavy on the old school. I can never turn down Brandy and Mary J. Blige. Like I was born in '89, so I listen to old shit. Like you can always catch me listening to the Isley Brothers or something. I'm not too on the new stuff. Like Missy Elliott is one of my favorite artists, and she said in an interview once that in her writing process, she don't listen to the radio, she'll listen to anybody new. She listens to what she knows, but she doesn't really listen to new music because she don't want to be inspired or take anything from nothing dude. She wants to be original. So like, I mean, Bob Marley's whole family, everybody, any Marley, I listen to them. Like that's about it. The new shit is dead.
No, I gotcha.
I like Tyla, and she's like an Afro beats. Like, I like Afro beats for real. Like I need to tag up with some of them, but Afro beats is about it. The new music I like.
That sound is definitely moving into the front a lot more too, which I really appreciate. All right, now before we get into the next portion, this next question is probably the densest question in the interview. But we've talked about your experiences, your actions, your reactions. But when it's just you and music one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
Man, that was a good question. Music gives me, if I could sum it up in one word, hope. Because I've put so much into music. It's hard to explain. I say hope because I can speak my feelings or problems or pain on there, and a listener or a person will hear it, and they'll come. It's like they learn more about me, or they'll seem more empathetic to my situations or struggles, if you will. You know, gives me hope.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to some hypothetical questions. And for these, sky's the limit. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well. But this first one's pretty straightforward. If you could work with any one person, the only requirement is they have to be alive. Who would you want to work with, and how would you want to work with them?
Queen Latifah, anything.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It don't matter. She's like, respectfully, she's the best rapper alive, and we're not going to talk about that because like 100 years from now when they look up what music was, they're going to look into the U.S. government and they're going to look into the music artistry and they're going to see her and Missy Elliott. Ain't no other artist there. Like, let's let her, Queen Latifah, on anything.
Hell yeah.
I'll be her damn stunt double for like a split second. It don't matter what it is. Queen.
Yeah, if you're watching,
Queen
let's
Latifah.
make it happen.
Dana, come on now.
And then subsequently, who's a local artist that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to connect with yet, but you would like to?
Like connect, like never met?
Just at least never worked with.
Mike Bars.
Okay.
Mike, hit me up, bro. I'll call you or something, but like hit me up. Let's work. You dope as hell.
Hell yeah. Everybody, you know what to do. Add him in the comments. Let's see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, add him.
For this next one, like I said before, sky's the limit, and it's pretty literal in this sense. But if you could perform anywhere in the world, then you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or building stability or power. It was guaranteed the best lineup, guaranteed the best show. And it doesn't have to be a venue. It could be anywhere. Where would you want to perform?
In Kansas City at the Union Station.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Taking it back home. I dig that. All right. And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could get one more album from anybody, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have not put out an album in 100 years, they could have put out an album yesterday. Who would you want an album from?
Queen Latifah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
MC Light just dropped the album. Ain't nobody say nothing, but that's MC Light. But like, no, if not Queen Latifah, The Brat. Shantae, come on now.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, The Brat, most definitely. It got to be one of them two. Most definitely Queen Latifah, though. I like all her music.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Fan, groupie.
All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. What can we look forward to between, let's say, now and May?
Now and May, a lot of performances, a lot of new music. Was Pride around then? I'll most likely be at Pride with Roulette Delgado. I'm working on a recipe cookbook. I have a seasoning coming out.
Okay.
Shout out to Rich James. Like I said, more music. My T-Line's about to drop again. I want to say next week, but y'all just stay tuned for that. How you can get the drink is by seeing me. A lot. Like, it's so much. My brain is racing right now.
That's all right.
A lot of shows, a lot of events that I'm planning. I'm working on a novel as well as the recipe cookbook and the seasoning. And just stay tuned.
Hell yeah. You're doing it all. Yeah. Well, and for this next one, go and look straight at the camera. Tell everybody how they can find you.
Everywhere. All right. You can find me Instagram, Twitter, X, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, anywhere. Get on Google or Safari and type in Kween Hinnessy. If you can't find me, you didn't spell right, because I'm everywhere you need to be.
Hell yeah. All right. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Shout out to Pinoy Money Muscle. Shout out to Rich James, the best producer on this side of the world. Shout out to Roulette Delgado Angel, Janelle A. What's up, sis? And to all the little people that make my head feel big. I love you. Shrista too. Shout out to Shrista. Ain't too many studs out here doing that thing in Kid Fresh. Shout out. Do y'all thing.
Yeah, after this, y'all should go check out her episode. It was rad.
Yeah.
All right, and with that being said, I've got one last question to go. But before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second. As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Raw Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation. But in all of music, what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? It's a bit of a deep cut. It's one not a lot of people would know, but it's one you think everybody should know.
Tech Nine, Absolute Power.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Or Chris Calico, Kicking and Screaming. Shout out to Chris. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Those are two solid albums.
Yeah.
I will say Chris Calico's Genius album. I know every track. That was like my entire like life theme track or like album for like a year and a half.
Yeah, he is a artiste.
Very much so. Chris, if you're watching and you want to be on the show,
I'm just
open invite.
Come on now, Chris. We from the same place, bro. I opened for you not too long ago, bro. Like, come on, tap in.
Hell yeah. All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox.
Jimmy Jams.
I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Kween Hinnessy.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.